Hello and welcome. Welcome Aries to your AstroTarot reading for the week beginning the 10th of, what month were you? October. Goodness. I'm Lunarcraft. I'll be your host for this reading and I hope it carries some really good news for you. I think it does because I've had a peek at the cards, but I will work through those and let you know the messages that are coming through those. Also, input from my guides if they feel it's appropriate. I will be working in information about planetary influences. So, let's get straight to it. As I said, I've got the cards in front of me. They were picked at random from the full deck. I have turned them over so I can see what's there. And they're nice. They're lovely. So, let's kick off with the first card, which is the Queen of Cups. Now, the Suit of Cups is all to do with the element of water and is concerned with emotions, feelings, moods, home, family, anything that you hold dear to you. And the Queen of Cups is the matriarch of the suit. She has her finger very, very firmly on the pulse of the emotional aspects. And in the image, she's sitting in a beautiful shell seat. She's looking out at the ocean, which is calm, serene, and that very much sums up this Queen's actual demeanour. She is very calm. Takes a lot to see her become ruffled. A lot of it is kept under the surface, much like currents of the ocean. Now, what I believe she's saying to you is you're in for an emotional week. Now, being Aries, being ruled by Mars, you are a child of action. And that is fine. We need people like you with the energy, the get up and go, the enthusiasm to kickstart projects, learning, whatever. But one area that you are not overly comfortable being in is the emotional side. So the Queen is here to say, look, it's part of you. It's natural. Go with it. Don't fight it. And everything will work out absolutely perfectly if you keep your perspective sharp. Now, your card in the centre is the Ten of Wands. Now, the Ten of Wands are all to do with day-to-day living. They're to do with fire energy, which is ideal for you. But this particular card is saying you've been struggling recently. And what I'm picking up is that you may well have taken on a bit more than you were actually comfortable with dealing with. We all do it at times. It's not a major problem. Especially with the appearance of this particular card, the Ten of Wands. Oh, the guy carrying that bundle of wands feels as if he's got the weight of the whole world on his shoulders, and he is the only one to be able to deal with it. That's what he's feeling. However, because he's struggling with this load, he's not necessarily looking ahead. If he was able to just divert his attention, he will realize that he is almost at the top of the hill that he's been struggling up. When he reaches that point, the going will get much better, much easier for him to navigate. So the message here for you is you've done the hardest part. Now you're reaching a point where you can consolidate that energy, that effort that you've been putting in. And they do say that rewards come to those who wait. And that is very much what I'm feeling at the moment. So keep pushing ahead. Don't give up. And you will find your happy place. I can't think of another way to put it. And then coming on to your final card. And this is the one that really brought a smile to my face. You've got the Ace of Cups. Now remember, cups are all to do with emotions and feelings and moods, home, family. But this particular card, if you look at the image, it's got a beautiful crystal heart. And the cup is quite literally overflowing. Now, what this is saying to me is that you're going to get some love being shown to you. And I hasten to add that you will be reciprocating that emotion. But it also actually does tie in very closely with one of the planetary aspects, and that is the moon being in a trine position with Venus. Now, Venus is the planet of love, and you will be feeling love and tenderness and harmony, friendship, companionship. It's a really good time coming, I believe, towards the end of the week, but it will be an excellent time for you to relax and say, yeah, I've been struggling, but I've made it. I didn't give up. Let's celebrate. Let's join up with friends and have a really good time. You will be feeling much more emotional. It will feel at times as if your emotions are right on the surface, exposed for the world to see. It's a good time to progress any romantic relationships you are involved in, even down to it being a prime time for making babies, or at least practicing, and practicing well. Your personal attraction to others will shine through, and what you will be faced with are people being very cooperative. So It's a good time to ask for favours of friends, family, or even to try and raise some money alone. But think hard, because if you take that loan out, you have the commitment to repay that money. So can you honestly afford it? But you know what? This is going to be a really good week for you. Enjoy. I'll be back next week with another AstroTarot reading just for you, Aries. In the meantime, have an absolutely fabulous week. And I wish you brightest blessings, and bye-bye. Hello and welcome. Welcome to you, Taurus. This is your AstroTarot reading for the week commencing the 10th of October 2022. I'm your host, Lunarcraft from Psychic Truth, and I'm going to launch straight into the reading. I've picked up my tarot cards. I'm going to give them a quick shuffle, make sure that they are clear of any residue energy, and they are absolutely perfect. So, 3 cards coming up. Right, let's see how this works out. Nice. Very, very nice. Perfect. Okay, Taurus, you have been blessed with some wonderful cards. The first one being the King of Swords. Now, if you look at the image of this card, he is very sure of himself. He's very confident. He's extremely intelligent. He is a thinker as well. But he sees himself in a sort of traditional role. That is, as provider, protector. He can be quite forthright. He speaks his mind. He's also prepared to stand up for what he believes in. And that, I believe, is the message for you this week, Taurus. Don't be afraid to step up and stand up for yourself. I don't mean in a fisticuff sort of way, but be prepared to promote yourself. Speak your truth. Let people know what you are thinking, because that way they can come on board and give you support. It's a truly lovely card for you because you are a down-to-earth sort of person. You don't beat around the bush. You go straight for the central hub of any situation. It's one of your strengths. Also, I feel that you are moving towards a conclusion of a phase that you've been working through. You're feeling pretty comfortable, pretty good about things, and that's absolutely right. But as one door closes, another one opens. And that is where you are at the moment. So there will be times when you're feeling a bit puzzled, a bit lost. That's only because you are in transit. You're moving between two phases within your life. But whatever you choose to do, you will recognize, experience, have success. Success that is noticed by other people. And that makes it so, so special. Now, sorry, I'm skipping around a little bit here because so many things actually tie in together. But you're more likely to feel as if your perspective on life has shifted. Your views that you've held on to for quite some time are changing. That's what happens during a transition period. It's giving you the opportunity to assimilate the right information to support you on your continuing journey. Change is always muddled because you're neither one thing nor the other. You're in between. And like a pendulum, you tend to swing from one thought to another and maybe go back to the original thought. That is fine. Don't beat yourself up over it. But as you pick up new information, whether that be from social media or news channels, newspapers, just talking with people about global events, it all adds up. And you will find that your perspective becomes clearer the further along the road you travel. So, you have got a really promising week ahead. So, I'm going to leave it at that and say, enjoy your week. Have a fabulous time. I'll be back next week with the following week's readings. I hope you'll be able to join me. But for now, I wish you brightest blessings and bye-bye. Hello and welcome, Gemini. This is your AstroTarot reading for the week commencing the 10th of October 2022. I'm your host, Lunarcraft from Psychic Truth, and I will be drawing out 3 tarot cards, looking at the messages contained, seeing, what sort of week you are looking forward to, and if appropriate, I will be pulling in some of the planetary influences that will be floating around you this week. So let's get straight off. I've just dealt out 3 cards for you, Gemini. Lovely. Yeah, very good. Okay. They are all very appropriate for you. So let's kick straight off with what's going on. The first card to be revealed is the Hermit, and that did bring a smile to my face because of all the star signs, you, Gemini, are the most adept at learning. It doesn't matter to you what that learning is necessarily, so long as you increase your personal store of knowledge. Because at some point you will find a way to bring that out and make it, or make use of it. As I said, it's absolutely perfect for you. But there is another side to the Hermit, which is about giving yourself the space, the time, and permission to spend some time in personal reflection. Because that way you will start to draw on this store of knowledge that you've built up and start applying it in practical terms to issues that you're facing. And that actually leads really nicely into your middle card, which is the Four of Swords. Again, swords, very much your element. Swords are to do with communication. You could communicate and get a gold medal, okay? But it's also to do with thinking and decision making and everything cerebral. Now, the problem is, because you are pretty much on the go 24/7, you run the risk of burning out. And that's the last thing that you want to happen. It's the last thing that anyone who knows you wants to see happen. So, build in a regular routine of caring for yourself, focusing on you and replenishing your energy so that you can do it all over again and again and again. So build in this routine. It could be to take a long soak in a bath. It could be to listen to music, watch a film, meditate if you feel so inclined. Anything so you can switch your brain off from the everyday mundane. Doesn't have to be loads of time. Even 10 minutes a day will make a difference. Perhaps before you get going in the mornings, just wake up a wee bit earlier. Or, and this is what I personally favour, last thing at night, because it prepares me for sleep. By giving yourself that space and time, what you'll be doing is actually making more of yourself available to others. So don't ever think, oh no, I'm being selfish. No, you're not. You are being even more generous with your time, your knowledge, your support, because you will be fully stocked up on energy. And that leads me to your final card. Your final card is the Ten of Pentacles. Now, Pentacles is all to do with money, security, work to an extent. And if you look at the image of this card, you can see there's a multi-generational family unit, and they're not grouped together because they feel individually that they are safe and secure. And I wouldn't say that they are rich, but they're pretty well off. You can tell that from the colours that they're wearing. You can tell because all of them have happy, contented expressions on their faces. And the main part of the image is the older gentleman with the boy on his knee. And they're very comfortable with each other. And the older gentleman is passing on his knowledge to the younger generation. They're both really enjoying that time and opportunity to share. There's so many aspects covered in this one card. I'm not going to try and tie it into the planetary influences because I've just glanced at my notes and it's virtually every single aspect that I've got written out that would apply. So this encompasses the whole week, everything that is good and strong. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope you found that interesting. I will be back next week with the following week's reading. It'd be wonderful if you could join me as well. But in the meantime, I wish you an absolutely fantastic week. And I will say, or wish you brightest blessings and say bye-bye. Hello Cancer. Welcome. This is your AstroTarot reading for the week beginning the 10th of October 2022. I'm your host, Lunarcraft from Psychic Truth. And I'm going to get straight into it. I've been shuffling my cards, make sure that they're clean and not holding on to any dead energy. And now I'm going to select 3 cards, which I will turn over and reveal in just a moment. I will work through the cards and the messages that they carry for you. And me, I'm a Cancerian. So, let's get to it. My guides are on hand, should they be needed. Oh, that's nice. That's very nice. Okay. The first card to be revealed is the 8 of Cups. Now, the cups suit are all to do with emotions, feelings, moods, family, home. And they are related to the water element, which again is very appropriate for Cancerians or people with Cancer very prominent in their astrological chart. Now, the meaning behind this card is, yes, you've been battling against it for quite a considerable time, but don't give up. Keep going, because you are almost at the end. Very soon you will get beyond the difficult path that you've been following, and you will realize, that the effort has been so worth it. And of course, once you finish that, it'll be time to start the next phase. But that's another story. Now, I've also got in the central position 5 of Swords. And if you look at the image, yes, there's 5 swords dotted around. But this is about underhanded behaviour. If you look at the image carefully, all 5 swords are with this one person. And while others are concentrating on things away in the distance, this chap has monopolised the weapons, taken them so they're no longer available to the opponents. That's what I mean about underhanded, unfair behaviour. But we all do it at some point if we have something that is strong enough to use as an advantage. So negotiation is by far a less messy way to reach a solution, but it's not always successful. But wherever possible, do try to be open and honest. Your final card. Now, I'm not going to go on for hours about this card, but I could very easily. But you've been given the Star, which very much means you are blessed with the protection and guidance of a lucky star. But there is so much symbolism in this card. It's bringing together physical world and spiritual world, and that is shown by the woman who is naked, exposing all her vulnerabilities, having one foot in the water in front of her. That's the spiritual side. And the other leg is firmly on the ground, which is the physical world. Now, she's got 2 bowls of water. One, she's returning to source, so recycling that water. The other bowl, she's tipping out onto the land, and it's forming 5 smaller watercourses, one for each of the human senses, so it's bringing all that together. Around the main star image, there are 7 other stars, and to me that represents the 7 continents, that are on Earth, and contribute to the world that we live in. Climate change, cultures. It's a truly wonderful card. And it's saying, don't be afraid to show vulnerabilities. What is important is how you work with those to achieve your aims. Nearly every day this week there is an aspect in the heavens, in the stars and planets, that feeds into this one card. So many different aspects, right through from the week ending with a challenging transit between the Moon and Mercury being on opposite sides of the zodiac wheel. Not necessarily a negative thing, but it will be challenging because you will most likely experience at least one dramatic incident that changes your way of looking at the situation around you. It's also recognizing that at the beginning of the week, you may find yourself being drawn towards compulsive behavior, obsessive behavior, potentially destructive behavior, and that's caused between the square angle formed by the moon and Pluto. Pluto, it might only be a tiny planet, but by gum does he come with a double whammy of power. The power to destruct, but also the power to reform. Very much of a planet of transformation. Mercury is very active this coming week. That's to do with communication in all its forms. So just be worthwhile bearing that in mind so that you can make sense of where some of these inspirational ideas come from. All in all, it is going to be a good week. Some challenges, but none of them beyond your capabilities of dealing with them, Cancer. But I'm going to leave it there for now, and I'll be back next week. I really hope you'll be able to join me, but I wish you an absolutely phenomenal week, and I wish you brightest blessings, and say bye-bye.